Hello, friends. Welcome to the Career Guru podcast. I am your host, Steve Yanovsky. What a glorious day it is to start your path in a new career. Doors are opening here at the Boston Career Institute even as we speak. And I'm here holding the key for you. So tune in, stay sharp, and enjoy yourself. This is going to be great. Hashtag Let's Career Up.
Greetings, conversationalists, aspiring gurus, career gurus, all across the fruited plain. I am your host, Steve Yanovsky. I am the career guru in these murky times of tumult, chaos, where even the former presidents are not safe. But you are safe with me right here on these internet waves, where we discuss all things pertaining to careers and associated about careers. Like today, I'm going to pick up on what we talked about last time, which seems to have struck a nerve with many of you because I received a flurry of messages saying, hey, you struck a nerve. Well, let's work on that nerve today. Now that we're all safe, I hope you're all hydrated and are ready for the next installment of the Career Guru podcast when we start talking about management of your procrastination. You see, I thought that we will start talking about time management and so on and so forth. But that all being said, time management is great, but not if you are a procrastinator, which a lot of us happen to be. And yours truly, the Career Guru, is guilty of some of that myself. So last time we talked about, I introduced you to a technique of 25 minutes on and then giving yourself a break from doing something, because procrastination in many ways is it's a science all in itself. There was a psychologist who created this technique called the Pomodoro Technique. Pomodoro in Italian means tomato. Why the heck was it called the Pomodoro Technique? There's no scientific reason for that, except that his kitchen timer that was shaped like a tomato was on for 25 minutes. That's how far it went. 25 minutes on a tomato-shaped kitchen timer. You know, the one that goes ding, that one. He named that technique after that. Francesco Cirillo came up with the most definitive work on procrastination and proper time management. It's something that you can Google and, think this through while we converse more in moving forward with other podcasts about procrastination and its management. The first thing about procrastination is to understand that there are certain triggers. We all get triggered by something, and we actually do get triggered to procrastinate. The key here is to identify these triggers. Let's talk briefly about some of them and see if we can make any sense before we move forward in other podcasts. I think we're going to be dealing with it for a few episodes. One of the biggest things that people have in triggering procrastination, because nobody wants to procrastinate, really. People want to get the job done and be done with it, off, that's it. Sooner rather than later, faster rather than slower, so we can take a break. Interesting, right? 25 minutes on, and then you reward yourself with a little break. But the biggest trigger happens to be, and it happens to be a consensus, well, almost a consensus. There's never a consensus in science, especially a social science dealing with procrastination. But one of the biggest ones is fear of failure. And maybe this just struck another chord with you. Fear of failure is a big deal. People just don't start doing it because they're afraid they're going to fail. I was just talking about it with my students just a few minutes ago, and I addressed this aspect when, for example, people send their resumes and they have a long foreign-sounding name, and the human resources person picks up that resume and says, geez, that resume looks great, but I just can't pronounce that first name or the last name. I'm afraid of butchering that name. And in many cases, those good people, because they can't fail in pronouncing somebody's name, we'll just put that aside, or better yet, throw it out in the garbage can. So fear of failure is a really big deal. But we all know that real failure, definitive failure, is when you do nothing. You are assured to fail when you do absolutely nothing. People are afraid of failing so they don't look bad in the eyes of other people. Most importantly, they don't want to look bad in their own eyes. Failure is an awful feeling, but you have to, like with everything else in life, be able to turn it upside down and not look at failure as failure, but rather than a learning experience that will lead you to success. Most successful people had a very rocky road on their way to their success. They failed many different times, but what separates real successful people is that they just don't stop. They're tenacious. They're not afraid of failure. They actually embrace failure and use that force to propel them further. Being scared gives people a lot of oomph. If you take actors, successful actors, stage performers, they all talk about one thing. They're always scared to get out on that stage. They love to perform, but they're scared. Will the audience like me? Will the producers like me? Will this like me? Will that? Do I look good today? And it's their fear that actually motivates them. We just identified fear of failure as one of the biggest triggers for procrastination, but we also identified its possible solution. Use the fear to push you forward. Remember, the biggest thing to remember about failure is that you are assured to fail if you do nothing. That's a guaranteed failure, 100% all the time. Doing something, stepping out, even though chances are high that you may fail, but there is that chance that you will succeed, and that is the motivator. Now, the other important trigger happens to be perfectionism. Some people just can't get over the fact that if they don't do everything to 100% compliance with everything, that they can't do it at all. And again, I had this conversation with my students just a few minutes ago. Yeah, the guru teaches. And so today was the lecture about employment opportunities and interviewing and resume writing and so on and so forth. And a lot of times, some of the stuff that you put on the resume, you're just not all that great at because you're just a student. You just finished school. I mean, how good can you be? But you still put it on your resume. But a lot of people don't want to put it on their resume because I am not perfect, they say. I don't have the experience. I don't have this. Hey, let other people be the judge of that. Most of the time, it's all about you and about your personality that drives people to actually give you that opportunity. Don't say no on their behalf. They may say yes. Many people they will say that, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to get it done right. Point me to one person who can. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes omissions. The greatest actors, the greatest scientists, heck, the space shuttle was a great success until one blew up, another blew up. These things happen. We're not perfect creatures. We do the best that we can. The goal is to put that aside. Perfectionism has its own place, but it can't be that force that stops you. It cannot. You have to identify that. If that's you, if that's one of your triggers, there are multiple triggers. Fear of failure and perfectionism, they're almost one and the same. Think it through. Put it together. Does that remind you of you? What else is there? What are some of the other triggers? Well, another one that sort of was blatant out there for a lot of people, I just don't want to do it. A lack of interest. I just don't want to do it. And I can't pawn it off on anybody else, so I'm kind of stuck with it. So, I'm not going to do it now. Whether the task is boring or it's too big. Once it's too big, the task is too big. I'm not interested in that. I'm in for a quick job here and in and out. I don't have any interest in that. I'm just going to, push it off and push it off. Maybe I'll get interested tomorrow. Okay? No, can't be done. It's a trigger, but it cannot stand between you and the completion of your tasks. Your bosses count on you. You count on yourself, and because you're always your own boss, you always work for yourself. It's your name. You cannot leave a mission not completed. That is some of the things that a lot of people just don't understand, but you have to understand that there's a certain amount of pride and dignity involved in all of that. So you cannot put things aside just because you're not interested in that today. Cannot be the source of your failure. You have to make it through. And oftentimes it's just a matter of sitting down or standing up, whatever your job is calling on you to do, and moving that process forward. The sooner you begin to move, the sooner you will complete the project. It takes that hardest thing is to take that first step. And that's what you got to do. But you have to put aside, first, you have to identify that feeling of lack of interest. Okay? It's life oftentimes brings us these surprises, these jobs that we just don't want to do. Many people go to work and they have, I'm not there. This is not what I was born to do. I wanted to be a movie star, but yet I am a paralegal in someone's office. Well, as they say in theater business, there are no small roles, only small actors. Okay? There are no unimportant jobs. There are no uninteresting jobs. All jobs are interesting as long as you invest yourself in the process. And all of a sudden, it becomes interesting. And guess what? This attitude doesn't just lead you away from the dark side, from procrastination, and it's dark side. Procrastination is really bad, but it also gives you opportunities for promotion. This is the prism through which you can destroy lack of interest. What's in it for me? What's in it for the aspiring career gurus out there? I don't want to do this job, but what could this job do for me? I assure you, you will find the right answer if you're looking for it. If you're looking for an excuse, you'll never get there. But if you look for something that's good for you, you'll find the reason to get the job done, to do it well, and to do it in the time afforded to you. And procrastination just goes away. See, procrastination is like darkness. Darkness doesn't exist. Only light exists. Darkness is the absence of light. To get rid of darkness, all one has to do is light a match, light a candle, flip a switch, and darkness leaves instantly on its own and without hesitation. All you have to do is light that match. You take that first step and the darkness dissipates. It has no power over you. Procrastination has no power over you. Procrastination leads to failure every time it's tried. What I just mentioned earlier, as far as lack of interest, which sometimes comes when you look at procrastination, when you look at a project and it seems so big and you say, oh, geez, that's not for me. I'm not interested. I like small things. Well, that is one other trigger, and that's the feeling of being overwhelmed. What helps? It's an interesting topic. I am a student of language or languages. I love language. I love looking at the words and figuring out what they actually mean. And for that, I bring to you the word analysis. What exactly is analysis? Well, analysis is a combination of two word parts, ana and lysis. The word ana means section, like in the word anatomy. Ana means section. Lysis means breakdown. So analysis of a problem is a sectional breakdown of a problem. What does that mean? That means when you take a big problem, you cut it up into a bunch of small problems and you solve them one by one by one. So all of a sudden, your task is no longer overwhelming, leading you to that dark side. All of a sudden, it's a small problem. Yeah, hey, I can handle that one. You do that one. Hey, what's next? And guess what? You just lit a match and the darkness is gone. Procrastination time is over. And remember, you limited your engagement to 25 minutes and then you get a break. That Pomodoro technique, that kitchen timer, that old kitchen timer that you wind up, that went up to 25 minutes. Well, his timer went up. Today's timers go a little bit longer, but 25 minutes. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes, 10 minutes off. You get yourself a reward, and then you're excited to go back to those 25 minutes again because you know that in 25 minutes, that little bell is going to ring and ding, 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 ding. It's time to take that break. But on the horizon is your next exciting task. That the problem, that insurmountable problem that you broke down through power of analysis into a bunch of smaller problems, you are good to go to tackle the last one because you succeeded in tackling the other one. Now you have that strength to move forward. What else do we have related to analysis? Well, we also have lack of structures. What other trigger that is doing terrible things to people? Yeah, structure. You need a plan. Create a plan. The universe was created with a plan. You build a simple shack house. You make a plan. What makes you think for 1 minute that at work or at home when you're trying to deal with a problem, you can do it without some kind of a plan? You must create a plan, even if it's in your head. But I recommend using a piece of paper where you can put a check mark, a checklist. There are so many apps on the smartphones today that do that. I can't even begin to tell you. It comes preloaded on your Apple or your Android telephone. A lot of these things are there. Your basic calendar has that feature. You can find it for yourself. Create a plan. First, I do this, then I do this, then I do that. Ding, ding, ding. Does that fit into 25 minutes? Yes, good. Check mark. Ready to go. Ready to go. Once you create that, you create structure. Being scattered, not being held to some kind of a standard is the biggest problem that people have. And again, that demotivates people like nobody's business. People are ready to do something. You go in, problem is too big. You didn't select what you need to do. There is no schedule involved. And there's nothing waiting to reward you for this. Well, you need to create your own system of time, completion schedules, deadlines, and making sure that you give yourself a break. What does that mean? Reward yourself for a job well done. Celebrate your successes. We'll spend more time talking about this as well. These are all independent topics that we can have again and again and again. But the guru doesn't believe in very long time to solve a problem. You may take a lot of time to solve the problem, but it needs to be done in the context of actually solving the problem. You can't solve problems without first starting to take action. That's key. This is one of those things that people don't realize. You can go to seek therapy or spend time with therapists and procrastination wizards out there, gurus in their own right. You're not going to solve anything in those sessions. You physically have to engage yourself in the labor of driving procrastination away. Once you're doing something, you're no longer procrastinating. By something, I mean something productive, something towards the process of completion of that task that you set out to complete. That's the key. 2 last topics, and I'll stop here, and then we'll pick up with our next exciting podcast. But I hope all of these things are striking a nerve, just like the previous podcast did. It struck a nerve with many of you. I hear you, and I'm talking about it, and we're gonna talk some more about this. We're gonna drive away that darkness. I'm gonna help you. You're gonna help me. We're all gonna help each other make the world a better place by performing the things that we need to do. We need to do it well. and create a lot of positivity, positive attitude, positive outcomes. We have to do it today. A lot of darkness out there, folks. But like I said, darkness has no power. Shine a light on it, it goes away. Last couple of points for today. Distractions. Drive away the distractions. You don't need them. With distractions, I also mean people who are your detractors, who instead of helping you, are telling you that you can't do it. They're not necessarily doing it out of malice. They're not bad people. They don't want to see you get hurt. A lot of people out there are saying, don't do that. You'll get hurt. You'll fail. Just stick to this. Don't worry about that. Don't do that. And you say, okay, I hear you. No. Find the people who failed, got up, failed, got up, failed, got knocked down, got up, succeeded. These people will show you success. Stay away from distractions. Stay away from detractors. These people are not there to help you. You know who these people are. They're in your lives. You've seen them. They could be your relatives. They could be your parents. They could be your siblings. That doesn't mean you abandon them. No, just stay away from them. Gravitate towards people who are going to encourage you. Do that. Last for today would be fatigue, being tired. It's not good to work when you're exhausted. This is not a prison camp, okay, where they beat you, whip you, no matter how tired you are. If you want to live, you will do it. That's not the case, okay? Give yourself the strength. Make sure you're well hydrated. Make sure you've had enough to eat. You're feeling comfortable, not tired. If you need to take a break, take a legitimate break. Not as a point of procrastination, but if you're really tired, take a break. And then get busy with your project. And then you will succeed. Small project, small break. Give yourself a chance to celebrate your accomplishments. Give yourselves opportunities to bask in your glory of your success. I made it. I started it. I lit the fire. Darkness went away. We're moving towards the light, and we're getting faster and faster and faster, and I'm deriving the benefits of my success. And with that, I close today's segment of the Career Guru podcast, dealing with procrastination part 2. Look forward to dealing with procrastination part 3 and 4, and however long it takes us to deal with that topic, and then build on that and check out some other topics which are related to it and see if we can help you with that career growth sooner rather than later. And with that, I bid you adieu, as they say in France, and I can't wait to speak to you again very, very soon. God bless you all. Thank you for being here.
Well, friends and aspiring career gurus, this was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I feel enlightened, I feel empowered, and I'm feeling grateful that we spent time with you. For more information about Boston Career Institute, please visit our website, bostoncareer.org. Boston Career Institute has 3 campuses located in Brookline, Massachusetts, Malden, Massachusetts, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Call our toll-free number, 888-383-6058. For questions, comments, and or information about our podcast, email me at thecareerguru@bostoncareer.org. The Career Guru podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, bostoncareer.org, or wherever you stream your podcast. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your rating and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by PodPro Entertainment, the Career Guru lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. # the new radio. Looking forward to seeing you soon. All the best to you. My name is Steve Yanovsky. I am the Career Guru. May God bless you. # let's career up.